Will you please join me in the singing of the national anthem? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets great there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you. Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Dr. Shad Satterthwaite, Associate Dean of the College of Professional and Continuing Studies. On behalf of the University of Oklahoma Board of Regents, University President David L. Boren, and Interim Dean Martha L. Bands, and the faculty and staff of the College of Professional and Continuing Studies, welcome to the College of Professional and Continuing Studies Convocation, recognizing our December 2017 graduates. Graduates, this is a wonderful day, the day you become a graduate of the University of Oklahoma. Congratulations. We hope that your time in our college has changed you and that it has been an important part of your lifelong educational journey. We are honored you chose to study with us and are so happy to celebrate with you today. You have become an important part of our college, and we hope that you will stay in touch. We want you to know where you go from here and want to have updates on how you are helping to make our world a better place. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce and recognize today's platform party. I would request each one to stand as I announce your name, and would request that the audience hold your applause until all have been introduced. Mr. Ken Parker, co-founder and CEO of Next Thought, is our convocation speaker for today. I'm Dr. Shad Satterthwaite, Associate Dean of the College, and will be announcing your names as you are individually recognized a bit later in the program. Mr. Frank Rodriguez, Director of Operations and Student Services, will be assisting in the presentation of the diploma covers. Dr. Martha Bands, Interim Dean of the College of Professional and Continuing Studies and Associate Provost for Continuing Education, will be presenting you with your 2017 Convocation Diploma cover as you cross the stage. Please join me in thanking these guests and members of our administrative staff for joining today's festivities. Thank you. We also want to recognize our faculty and staff today, many of whom play an important part in your education. I would like to ask those members of our faculty and staff who are in attendance today to please stand so that we can recognize your contribution to our college's work. Many of them you have had in courses, and this may be the first time you see them in person, so after I'd encourage you to get with them. Serving as faculty marshals for today's event are two of our full-time faculty members, Dr. Roxana Alavi and Dr. Robert Dion. We are grateful for their assistance throughout today's activities. It is also a thank you. It is also a privilege for me to introduce today's banner carrier, Lynette Bloomberg. Lynette is earning her Master of Arts in Administrative Leadership, graduating with a 4.0. Her complete biography, including her significant community service and professional accomplishments, is located in the Convocation program. Congratulations, Lynette. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Martha Bands, Interim Dean of the College of Professional and Continuing Studies.
Thank you, Dr. Satterthwaite. Thank you very much. Good morning, graduates. Please allow me to add my congratulations to those that Dr. Satterthwaite has already conveyed to you. We are so incredibly proud of your accomplishments, and we hope that you are as well, and we know that your families are. Today, we are celebrating with you a significant personal milestone, one which is even more significant in our view because it involves a diploma from the University of Oklahoma. OU is not only the premier institution of higher education in our state, but it is also continuing to emerge as one of the outstanding public universities from the entire country. We also want to emphasize how very proud we are that you are graduating from the College of Professional and Continuing Studies. As you know, our college's primary mission focuses on helping working adults and emerging young professionals, folks just like you, to achieve your educational aspirations. For some of you, that has meant overcoming significant life obstacles, maybe some employment challenges. For others, it's meant giving up weekends. It's meant spending evenings having to study or to fly and telling your children or your peers, sorry, not now. We know that the demands on your time have been quite significant and substantial, and we are incredibly proud of the perseverance that's represented and the commitment that has been involved in your reaching this day successfully. Today, I would like to note that you graduate from one of the largest and fastest growing colleges here at the University of Oklahoma. We are also the largest college offering online and degree completion and aviation programs in the state of Oklahoma. One particular point of pride that we have is also that we are now recognized by U.S. News & World Report as one of the country's premier online programs, having received a number 3 ranking, and I might add, beating out even places like Arizona State. And for our online undergraduate programs, a number 2 ranking from U.S. News & World Report for our online programs for veterans, and number 3 for our criminal justice programs. We are quite proud of these recognitions, but as great as those are, the most important thing to remember is that our purpose is not to achieve rankings, but to help you achieve your goals, to enhance your career, to improve your family's quality of life, to become a more productive worker, a more productive citizen, a more informed and engaged citizen as you move forward. There are 2 groups of students today that I want to particularly recognize. First, just out of curiosity, I would like to ask those of you in the graduating class here, how many of you are first-generation college graduates? If you would you please stand if you're a first-generation college graduate? Stay standing just for a second. Stay standing just for a second. Stand up just for a second. Folks, these are pioneers. These are those who have had the courage and the fortitude to change the direction not only for their own lives, but for future generations that are to come after them. First generation graduates today, we are incredibly proud of the work that you have done. Thank you for letting us partner with you in this new accomplishment that you are achieving today. Thank you very, very much. Next, I'd like to ask all of our military-affiliated graduates if you would stand, and by military, if you are a military member, a military spouse, someone who is serving. And again, please stand. We are particularly proud that about 40% of our student population is military affiliated. And we represent all different branches of the armed forces, and we are also incredibly honored that you all have chosen us as your educational partner to achieve your dreams, and especially today want to thank you for your service. Thank you. Each year during this event, our longtime former dean would remind us of an old Oklahoma saying. It's probably not restricted just to Oklahoma, but the saying that if you see a turtle on a fence post, the one thing that you know is that it probably didn't get there by itself. And while that's a little bit colloquial of an expression, I think it does a really nice job of capturing the reality of the journey that you all know you have been on. You have not only been finishing either your undergraduate or graduate degree, but your families have been, and your support networks have been in that journey with you as well. You didn't get here by yourself. So what we would like to do at this moment is to give you all a chance to be able to thank those around you that have helped get you to this place. So graduates, at this moment, if you'd like to stand, turn around and thank wherever they are here in this crowd, thank them for their support. This is your chance to do that. Thank you. Please be seated. It is now an incredible privilege for me to introduce our convocation speaker for today, Mr. Ken Parker. His full biography is in your program, and I would encourage you to read through that as you have opportunity, because it does represent in more detail the wide array of his accomplishments and involvements throughout his career that are in much more detail than what I will highlight briefly in my introduction here today. As noted in the program, Ken is himself a first-generation college graduate, so he knows a little bit of something about the journey that you have been on, those of you that were in that group. Born in Ohio, Ken's family of origin moved to Oklahoma in 1975, just in time for his dad, who is an oil wildcatter entrepreneur, to fully experience both the boom and the bust of the 80s here in Oklahoma. And interestingly, because of that transition, Ken is technically, I think this is right, is technically a high school dropout, right? Yeah. Because of the transition from Ohio to Oklahoma. He didn't, however, let that stop him. He matriculated to Oklahoma Christian University and there achieved an undergraduate degree pursuing math and computer science with a 4.0 GPA, and then went on to pursue a master's degree, completing that in computer science from the University of Colorado, after which he spent about a decade or so working on programming software development for the Air Force as part of Martin Marietta Aerospace. During that time, he began to be intrigued by some of the ways that neural networks could be used to try to help understand complex problem-solving challenges, particularly in the arena of financial risk. And that was an interest that ultimately landed him on Wall Street working with J.P. Morgan. After about a decade or so of the hustle and bustle of Wall Street and never getting to see his kids because of the 75-minute commute one way, I think Ken decided it was time to move back to Oklahoma. And so in 1996, he moved his family back here, and since then has been the co-founder for 2 different technology companies, both of which have created literally hundreds of jobs for Oklahoma graduates. The first, which was launched in 1998, was called Risk Metrics Group, and it was a financial technology company that brought to fruition that early interest I mentioned a second ago about developing programs to assess financial risk and inform financial decision-making processes. It was a spinoff of J.P. Morgan, and Risk Metrics then was sold in 2010 for $1.5 billion. That transition allowed Ken, after a hiatus of a little over a decade, to return to sort of his first love dream, which was figuring out how we can develop better ways of developing what he's called connected learning. And by connected learning, He's talking about ways of bringing individual learners together to produce a more engaged and a more active learning environment. Pursuing that dream drove Ken to found Next Thought, which is his current involvement. It is a Norman-based education technology firm whose mantra is change the world, have fun, make money, in that order. So although Ken's resume is hugely impressive and his list of accomplishments is quite astounding, I need you to know that you would never know that from just meeting Ken. He is one of the most genuine, most humble, most warm individuals I have ever met. He is truly the epitome of what it means to be a lifelong learner. So it is a distinct honor for me today to introduce him as our speaker. Please join me in extending a warm College of Professional Continuing Studies welcome to our December 2017 Convocation speaker, Mr. Ken Parker.
Well, thank you, Dr. Bance, and congratulations. Let me add mine to you graduates on a great milestone on what is hopefully going to be your lifelong learning adventure. And when thinking about what to share with you today, I wanted something meaningful and memorable, and so I'll let you decide later if I achieved that. But occasionally, I encounter a big idea that changes how I think about things. And I want to share one of those with you today. A few years ago, I was with a group at Columbia University in New York City. And we were speaking with Richard Saul Wurman. He's the 80-year-old visionary and tech thinker that started TED Talks back in 1984. And we were talking about how to learn. And he said, comfort is your enemy. And it kind of made me stop and think, is that an overstatement? But after a lot of thought, I believe he's right. So here's my big idea for you. Don't get comfortable. And that's it, 3 words that cover nearly every aspect of life. So I have 3 points for you today. First, comfort is a bad goal, almost always. Second, to reach your full potential, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. And third, get started. It's never too late. So first, comfort is a bad goal, almost always. So what's wrong with comfort? Take it easy, relax a bit, have some fun, enjoy yourself. And we need to do a bit of all those things. However, when comfort becomes our primary goal, mostly bad things happen. So let's consider comfort in a few different parts of our lives. First, physical comfort. When comfort is our goal, we deteriorate in every way possible. Did you ever see the Pixar movie WALL-E? You remember the one with the lovable little trash compactor robot? Well, it was a cautionary tale that showed a funny view of where the humans ended up, where comfort was their goal. And it's a vicious cycle. You deteriorate more and you work to achieve more comfort. So second, food. If comfort is my goal, I eat as much as I like, when I like, and as often as I like. Many of our diseases start with our Western lifestyle diet. Heart disease, epic obesity, diabetes. We even have comfort foods. We've all heard someone say, I had a rough day. I went home and ate a whole bowl of kale and quinoa salad. No. Comfort foods usually involve butter, sugar, gravy, and deep-fried goodness. But it's not good for us. Well, how about intellectual comfort? When we're comfortable with what we know, we stop learning, and we look for fun instead of learning, and we become rigid and inflexible in our habits and attitudes. Well, thank goodness we're not seeing any of that today in the world around us. But you all are a great example of someone that is on a milestone to learn and to develop intellectually. So keep it up. Professional comfort. When I get comfortable at a job, not only do I stop learning and growing, I hate change. But in that case, I've got some really bad news. The world's changing faster than it ever has in human history, and it's accelerating. So expecting any sort of comfort professionally, it's not going to end well. So I'm a tech nerd, so let me mention a few of the big technology-fueled changes that are going to really change our world. Artificial intelligence and all of the disruption that it's going to cause. Virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a bubble, but blockchain's a huge deal. Self-driving cars, electric cars, cheap and reliable space flight, new energy sources, biotechnology. Have you heard of CRISPR? It sounds like a kitchen toy, but it's actually incredibly simple and precise genetic editing. And it's very exciting and terrifying because it moves throughout an entire population automatically. So if you're expecting comfort in your career, better change your expectations. Social comfort is another area. When you're comfortable with our relationships, we stop meeting new people and growing. We become insular and inbred. Those that are different from us are bad because they make us uncomfortable. Yeah, we've got a bit of that going on right now in the world. So think about social comfort. Emotional comfort. When that's our goal, you don't take risks. Avoid any sort of vulnerability or social pressure, anything that makes us uncomfortable. Stay safe, don't risk it, and you'll miss out on some of the greatest things in life. So, okay, I said comfort is almost always a bad goal. Well, here's one where comfort is actually good. Sleep. Your body desperately needs quality sleep, and you have to be comfortable for that. And current research says that from about your age now until age 64, you need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. So that's a freebie for you. Otherwise, you'll suffer cognitively, physically, emotionally, so get sleep. So 2 other areas come to mind where comfort is probably good: shoes and underwear. Comfort seems like a good goal there. But other than that, comfort's almost always a bad goal. So that brings us to point number 2. To reach our full potential, we have to be uncomfortable. Now, I don't mean stressed out or panicking or beating your head against a wall on something that's non-productive. I mean not comfortable, learning, growing, taking risks. So let me repeat, to reach your fullest potential, you have to be uncomfortable. It's just the nature of how we learn and grow. As you well know, learning and growth takes time and focus and energy and hard work. But we all have this amazing superpower, our brain's plasticity. Plastic just means changeable. So when we focus on learning something and practice it with feedback, well, our muscles and brain actually change. And it's incredible. So you all know that if you exercise your muscles, they'll firm up, they'll even get bigger depending how much. But the real magic happens inside our brains. So when we're learning, we actually grow new neurons. And the neurons will grow new connections between them. Those connections will actually strengthen or weaken as you're learning. But it gets even better. The little cords that connect neurons are called axons. And they're like tiny little extension cords that connect the neurons. And so when we practice something, it actually activates these, they're like little nano robots. that will wrap the cords with insulation, and it literally looks like microscopic electrical tape. And it goes around the cords between the neurons while you're learning. It's all automatic, and it's based upon usage. So what does that do? What does the insulation do? Well, it makes the messages that pass between the neurons much more accurate and 100 times faster. So that's what's going on whether you're learning to talk or walk, or whether you're learning subject matter like you just achieved in your degree. And so all these structural changes are how we learn and how our brain changes, and it's a superpower. But it takes work and uncomfortable to do it. So what about some of those other comfort areas that I mentioned earlier? Is uncomfortable good there? Food. In our society, we tend to eat far too many calories and prefer unhealthy food. Choosing a healthy diet is usually uncomfortable, but we're much healthier. So professional comfort. We've already talked about the coming technology changes and our need to learn. And with this degree, you're right on track, so keep it up. This is a milestone, not a destination. So keep it up and use your superpower. But it only works if you're uncomfortable, working, learning, growing. Emotional and social, same stuff. We'll only grow emotionally and socially when we're not comfortable, when we're taking risks, struggling, striving, connecting with others, meeting new people, being vulnerable. So again, to reach our fullest potential, we must be uncomfortable. So point 3, get started. It's never too late. We've heard, can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's a lie. Research shows you can learn throughout your entire life, right up to the point you die. So pay attention no matter how old you are. First and foremost is your mindset. We have to change how we think about work and striving and struggle and practice. It's not drudgery, but it's actually how we activate our superpower. And growth isn't comfortable. That's just a fact. Another tip, always be learning. So read and watch things that challenge you, that make you think and grow, not just for amusement. I scan 30 or 40 different sources daily from across the spectrum: conservative, liberal, spiritual, secular, scientific, artistic, futurist, historical. Albert Einstein once said, once you stop learning, you start dying. There's so many great books and resources, and a few of my recent favorites on this topic: Mindset by Carol Dweck. Every parent should read that book, I think. It talks about how to encourage a growth mindset, and it changed how I work with my grandchildren. It's a different, very different approach. Brené Brown, she's a vulnerability researcher and author, and she has the 4th most popular TED Talk of all time, over 32 million views, and it's about vulnerability. And she's got some great thoughts on wholeheartedness, not comfortable. Another great book is Peak by Anders Ericsson. He explains deliberate practice, and so that's exactly how you develop new skills most effectively and you reach your highest performance. It's a great book. So read, watch, and listen to learn and grow, not just for amusement. Speaking of which, another tip is avoid serious time wasters. So at the risk of offending, can I mention a few of the potential candidates? Television, Facebook, Netflix, Instagram, video games, YouTube, watching sports. Anything that's pure amusement, we should treat it like a small dessert, not like the main course. Because when you're being amused, that's not a time of learning and growth. So another tip, connect with people that inspire and encourage you to grow. and choose your friends wisely. Proverbs says, "He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." Comfortable friends may make us feel good, but they'll limit our potential. So here's a big one: be vulnerable, genuine, take risks. You'll be rewarded. The Bible says, confess your faults to one another. We love vulnerability in others, but we often hide it ourselves. So take a risk. Another big one is get exercise regularly. It's like an elixir of life. It helps physically, mentally, emotionally, but it's not comfortable. And it's one I confess that even though I know it's good for me and I feel better afterwards, I still don't always enjoy it. But I started listening to fun books or podcasts while I exercise, and so you get a twofer on that one. But find time to exercise. Incredibly strong connection between the physical and the mental. My last tip is a brain hack. Have you heard of brain hacks? It's essentially where you learn how the brain works, and then you use that trick to improve your performance on something. So I've talked about a lot of uncomfortable good things, but here's a brain hack to help. Don't rely on willpower. Develop a habit instead. Habits are much lower energy. That's why they're habits. They don't require effortful thought. They're automatic. And did you know that willpower is actually an inexhaustible resource? You only have so much of it per day. And so if you spend it in one area of your life, like you're at work struggling with something or school, then your diet or exercise is more likely to fail. It's a scientific fact based on how much energy effortful thought uses and glucose, which is the power supply for it. So the trick is develop a habit. And we've now studied habits to realize there's 3 parts to a habit. There's a trigger, whatever action you want to perform, and then there's a reward. That's the composition of a habit. Well, we can control the trigger and the reward, so you just wrap it around an action. So on my exercise, my trigger is putting on my shoes. And then it's kind of, I don't even think anymore about a choice. It just is automatic. And then when I come in from the exercise, I'll have some small treat. Doesn't have to be big, just some small physical treat that you enjoy, like a glass of fruit juice or whatever. But in that way, you have removed the willpower, that expensive use of willpower, from something good. And our brain doesn't know the difference between a good habit or a bad habit. It just knows triggers and rewards. So you can take control of that. And there's even a great book on this by Charles Duhigg called The Power of Habit, if you're interested. All right, so let's wrap it up and recap. So first, comfort is a bad goal, almost always. Second, to reach your fullest potential, you have to be uncomfortable. And third, get started and use some brain hacks to help you out on this. Well, you're now blessed and cursed with this big idea. Don't get comfortable. I hope it motivates and inspires you to reach your fullest potential, because if you do, you'll be blessed, your family, and all of us. The whole world needs your best, and this will help you do it. So congratulations, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Ken, for that insightful and reflections. 3 words: easy to remember, hard to do. Don't get comfortable. Wonderful. We always have a gift that we like to give for our convocation speakers as a reminder of today. And I'm not sure, given what you just said, I think maybe this is somebody who isn't terribly comfortable, but I'm not sure. a set of thinker bookends. So.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
So in the posture of comfort, but not being comfortable, I think. We are now at the time that you have been waiting for. A few weeks from today, each of you all will be receiving your official diploma from the university. But we didn't want this day to pass without having something tangible, a tangible marker for your accomplishment. We know that your education has required incredible commitment. You've worked hard, you've sacrificed much, and you certainly have spent many hours reading and studying and writing and thinking to earn your degree. So for all of that effort, the college thinks you deserve a gift, so we're going to give you one today. This is a special recognition that only is given to those students who attend our convocation ceremonies in person, and we hope that you will cherish it, that you will display it just as proudly as your diploma. So as we move into this part of the program, we want to tell you a little bit about what will happen next. In just a moment, you'll be escorted to the stage, and as you are, you should have your name card. You will give that to Dr. Shad Satterthwaite, who will announce your name. You will then proceed across the stage here, where I'll greet you in front of the OU seal and give you your official University of Oklahoma diploma cover. And there we'll have an official photograph taken. Then as you exit off to the right, we will give you your gift. And as you go make your way on around, there will be another photograph taken as you exit before you re-enter and return to your seat back here in the auditorium. Now, audience, we want you to feel free to cheer your graduate as they cross the stage and get the picture taken. There's only one rule for this, and that is that we ask that you not knock anybody out of the way on your way to get to the photograph of them. Be kind to each other. So at this point, we are now ready to begin recognizing our December 2017 College of Professional and Continuing Studies graduates, and we will start with those who are earning master's degrees. Master's grads, those of you that are here in the front, less than 10% of the American population achieves a graduate degree. So you are among a fairly small and elite group of individuals in our society. There also are some estimates that a master's degree translates into increased earnings, roughly now in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $12,000 a year. So you might want to visit with your boss on Monday about that as soon as you're done. For this convocation, we have 118 master's graduates, many of whom are able to be with us today, but not all, certainly. They represent all of the different program areas throughout the college, and we are so excited about your achievements. So on behalf of all of our graduate advisors, Michelle Schultz, Lindsay Gunderson, Russ Tressner, congratulations to you, master's graduates. And will you now please stand and come to the stage for presentation?
Taylor Taylor Elizabeth Grinstead. Wesley Brinstead. Jason Zahn. James Harrell. David Richardson. Melissa Ann Jones. Colby Ruth Townsend. Bailey Martindale. Corey Jane Christiansen. Kara A. Bugal. Margaret Russell. Christina Rankin. Noel De Jesus. Lynette Bloomberg. Thomas Begnall. Renee Michelle Lanier. Amber Workman. Sean Keene. Karina Mancha. Brittany Perman. Abigail Clark. Kimberly Carroll. Veronica June McCloskey. Major Matt Starsnick, U.S. Army. Crystal Wind. William Anthony Alfano. Jennifer McMahon Curlis. Bryant Pereira. Joshua McGee. Ciray Davis. William Smalls. Taylor Beckham. Martina Olupton. Marcus Walker. Nikki Karlstrom. Savannah Albanese. Ashley Witt. Charity Key. Jennifer Nicole Holman. Michael Hatcher. April Dawn Kerr. Stephen Q. Kayla Deathridge. Mallory Day. Kathleen Thompson. Gina Gail Bertolotti. David Gibson. Stephanie Roberts. Grayson Haas. Johnny O'Hagan.
Please join me in one more round of applause for our master's graduates. As our master's graduates are continuing to come back in, I want for us to go ahead and begin our process of recognizing our undergraduate graduates today. Today we have 120 degree candidates for this December convocation, and again, many are in attendance today, although not all. In the program, you will see a notation for those that are graduating with honors. Noted by 1 star, we have 10 students graduating with distinction, which means that they have earned an overall GPA of 3.6. Noted by 2 stars, we have 3 graduates receiving special distinction, which involves a GPA above a 3.8. And last but definitely not least, we are honored to have 1 graduate today who has a perfect 4.0. You will see that our honors graduates are those that are wearing the gold stole over their graduation robes, and we're especially proud of their accomplishment. We know that for many of you, the road to your bachelor's degree has been long and hard, but you have persevered and the time has come. So on behalf of our undergraduate advisors, Shelley Ainsworth, Mary Aldridge, Emily Arias, Casey Butcher, Jennifer Gatlin, and LaDawn Jones, congratulations to our undergraduate degree recipients today. Bachelor's students, will you please stand? And marshals, will you please lead them to the stage for recognition?
Deanne Elliott. Shelby Brightbill. Kelly King. Jocelyn Johnson. Sarah Elizabeth Montgomery. Andrea Ricketts. Mary Catherine Dorneman. Jakiva Tadea Miller. Abisai A. Bermudez. Amber Andrews. Mackenzie Haverfield. Patrick Wilson. Tyler Price. Grady Brown. Keith Williams. Austin Kearns. Sean Ward. Kelsey Ward. Amanda Dew. Corbin Lee. Carrie Beth Croy. Chloe Donathan. Brandy Bame. Carrie K. Luth. Jennifer Smith. Tressa Lyon. Connie Thomason. Tara McCrary. Jesse Kotke. Blake Rogers. Jasa Lee Scheitlen. Jonathan Robinson. Brandy Leigh Kemp. Mohammed Matu. Brian Eric Ortiz. Jared Murphy. Mariano Frias. Elizabeth Scholler. Liz Boxford. Amanda Gamble. Michael Sullivan. Justin Windsor. Jennifer Mars. Dorothy Rangel. Thomas Warren Jr. Charles Douglas Howell III. Grant David McIntyre. John Joseph Tonelli III. Scott Shanklin. Dylan Lee Wilson. Matthew John Beamer. Chelsea Winter Toston. Michael Galka. James W. Timmons, Jr. James Potts. Danielle Curtis. Cecilia Harris.
While they are continuing to make their way around, please join me in one more round of applause for our undergraduate degree recipients. In just a moment, we will be recognizing the full class after they have made their way back around. Just a couple of comments as we begin concluding our ceremony today. I have a saying hanging up in my office, if any of you have ever stopped by there, that says this. It says, "We shall pass through this world but once. Any good that we can do or any kindness that we can show, let us do it now, for we will not pass this way again." So my commission to you, the graduating class of December 2017, is seize the day, do good, and change the world. That's what we're expecting from you, and we look forward to the many accomplishments, not just represented by what you've done here today, but as you move forward from here, and we want to stay in touch. We want to know the ways in which you will be doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the candidates and graduates of the College of Professional and Continuing Studies have now been recognized. So graduates, I need you to stand and turn facing the audience so that we can congratulate you one more time. And graduates, please remain standing. While you are doing that and facing the audience, the time has come. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left. And as you do so, we want to congratulate you one more time. With this move of your tassel, you are paying homage to your new alma mater, the University of Oklahoma, by moving the tassel to the left side of your cap so that it is nearer to your heart. Symbolic but important move. Graduates, if you'll please remain standing. We are now coming to the end of our convocation ceremony, and I would like to ask Dr. Shad Satterthwaite to come back to the podium and lead us in the singing of the OU chant. Shad?
The OU chant is a loyalty song that is sung before every home football game, before and after every men's and women's basketball game, and at the end of many other athletic events and university functions. During the playing of the chant, every fan who wears the official colors, each current student and student athlete, and all OU alumni are encouraged to stand and raise their right index finger in the air. This is a symbolic gesture that shows those who do not know what it means to be a Sooner the greatness of the university and the unity between all Sooners. Please join me in singing of the OU chant. The words can be found in your program. O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A. Our chant rolls on and on. Thousand strong join heart and song in alma mater's praise. Of campus beautiful by day and night, of colors proudly gleaming red and white, neath a western sky, OU's chant will never die. Live on, university. Yeah.
As we are finishing, graduates, you may be seated for just a second. As we are finishing today's convocation activity, I want to take a moment of personal privilege to say a few thank yous. Those of you that know how these kinds of events are put together know that it doesn't just happen, sort of like your degrees. It takes a whole cadre of support to do that. First, I'd like to again extend our thanks to, and a special warm thank you to Mr. Ken Parker for serving as our convocation speaker today. And I want to express special thanks to our pianist, Mary Salee, for providing the musical background. I don't know where she is. I would like to thank our convocation event manager, Missy Mitchell. Missy's right over here. She is the brains behind all of this. As well as all of our faculty and staff who work in support. We are deeply grateful for them giving of their time on a Saturday to come in and make this event possible so that we can celebrate together. I'd like to thank our two faculty marshals, Dr. Dion and Dr. Olivier, for helping us with getting you on and off the stage in an appropriate fashion. Finally, we want to take one more opportunity to congratulate you, our graduates. We, the administration, the faculty, the staff of the College of Professional and Continuing Studies, are incredibly proud of you. We also want to thank your family and friends for coming to join you today. You all should be very, very proud of your graduates as well. You know what that journey has been. Thank you for being there with them on that journey, and we wish you well as the journey continues. Thank you for honoring us with your attendance. With this, we are now ready to conclude the December 2017 Convocation, College of Professional and Continuing Studies Convocation. Audience, we will ask that you will remain in the auditorium until the platform party and the graduates have exited. In past years, students have been able to come to the stage to get pictures in front of the seal. Unfortunately, the graduation schedule is very tight today, so we will not be able to do that. But fortunately, the weather is cooperating. It's a lovely day outside, and you can linger as long as you wish out in the atrium and in front to get pictures and celebrate and be able to visit with those that have come to support you. So on that note, we are ready to complete our convocation exercises, and I only have one thing to say, and that is, Boomer.